What's up, guys? In today's video I want to cover some new leaks that were actually shown for Naruto Cross Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, which I'll probably just, from going on, refer to it as Storm Connections just because that's a mouthful. And these are source code leaks, like leaks from source codes that was actually pulled from within the data itself from the game. So I am going to go over them. There are characters that are in here, including DLC characters or possible DLC characters, so I'm going to save them for the end. I have some other stuff to go over first, so just bear with me and we'll jump right into the video. So thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy. Alright, so the first leak that I want to talk about is not so much a crazy leak, it's just like confirmation that it was confirmed this morning that Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections would use the same graphics engine as Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles, which means obviously that's going to be running on Unreal Engine 4, but it's probably, what this is going over is a little bit better of a, the lighting engine and stuff like that that was used for Demon Slayer. Like, it's going to be used in that same engine, like within Unreal 4, so that can give you a somewhat idea of how much more improved the graphics can be based on what it was in the past. So that was just a little thing that, like, I thought we would appreciate, at least knowing, because we can have some more aspect of, like, without a full trailer, like what actually the game's going to look like. And then the next thing that I want to cover is a tweet that read that this is from the same, all from the same data leakers, by the way, that all the characters of the Otsutsuki clan are present in Boruto, are present in the source data for Naruto Cross Boruto Ultimate Storm Connections, and that is Urashiki is also included in that. So that's nice to know. And here's something that I am really excited for that was found in the data that I didn't think was possible, and I actually said it wasn't possible in a couple of the comments, but there's been multiple licenses that have been acquired for this game in particular, and I want to go over some of them right now. So the licensing on Ninja Storm Connections is as follows: Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Boruto Naruto Next Generation, Road to Ninja, Naruto the Last, and Boruto the Movie. So this is kind of confirmation about the Boruto the Movie stuff being covered. Slightly, this also, the licensing for this could also mean the characters are being used from this actual IP, which means that, like, it might not be covering the story, because again, it said that we're having an original story in this game from CC2, but that means that the characters that are separately licensable from the movies, because it's separate licenses than the anime, are going to be included. That means, like, people like Menma and stuff like that. So that's actually super exciting for me. I love Menma. Road to Naruto is my favorite Naruto movie of all the movies, and it's one of my favorite anime movies of all time, actually, and I'm really excited that that's actually going to be included. So that's a leak that, for me, got me super excited. But I know a lot of you guys are here really for the character leaks, so these are some source data releases. And I want to preface this really quick, just because something is in the source data, meaning that it's within the code of the game, because there's two types of games, right? There's files and then there's mechanical files, like those that can be actually accessed later. So I would say this is more of a comparison to, like, the DLC for, let's say, Naruto Storm 4 Road to Boruto, right? The characters were actually in the source code for that DLC, that being the Otsutsuki, but they actually didn't show up until way later. So there's, like, this is not, like, confirmation that they're going to be in launch. That means that some of these characters can be DLC, or they might not use some of the characters. For those of you who are familiar with my Soul Calibur content, you know that in the source code for Season 2's DLC, which released Hwang and Setsuka and all that, there was actually code for more characters for Season 3, which was like Yoon-Song, Rock, and Aeon. So those characters obviously didn't show up, but there was intention to at least have the possibility of them showing up, so there was source code for them in the game. That's why I wanted to preface this with this. I always just try to make everybody aware of, like, what potentially could happen. This is not just saying that they're 1000% going to be in the game at some point, possibly, or it could even be for NPCs, but that's less likely. I think it's either characters that are going to release for new characters or characters that are going to be released as DLC later down the line. And I'm going to read them off to you as follows while I show them to you on screen. And this isn't all of them. Other characters could also be added. This is just what's in the current files of the game's source code currently. So we have Indra and Ashura, obviously we see them in the trailer. We have Hagoromo, we have Hamura, we have Tonari, we have Urashiki, we have Ishiki, we have Jigen, Delta, Boro, Kashin Koji, Kurenai, Anko, Chojuro, Kurotsuchi, Menma, Naruto Baryon Mode, Boruto Kama, Kawaki, Konohamaru Sensei, Shikadai, Chocho, Inojin, Ringo, and the rest of the 7 deadly swordsmen, like Owl. So that's like super exciting to have all those characters like shown in there, especially the fact that we get like Naruto the Last and Road to Ninja characters. Like, I've been dying to play as like Menma for like forever. Like, hopefully he's got a masked warrior costume and then like his regular like fight costume that he had with like Naruto where he had the dark Kurama. I think that would be just awesome. Like, I've been waiting to play as this character literally since Road to Ninja came out. So I'm so happy that they actually licensed the movies to put this in here. And this just goes to show what I was saying before, like, not to just like totally ignore this game and write these games off, because like the installment games, like the secondary side games for the Storm series, that being Generations, Revolution, and now Connections, they do things that are different than the normal Storm games, and they actually like can play around a bit more with what they're allowed to do or what like fans want to see. They can actually like have a little bit more fun with the game. They're not like under such a strict contingency that they would from like the publisher, that they would for other games, because there's lower expectations for these games. Usually these games are test beds for new functions, new features, characters and stuff like that, and things that are used a lot or things that are like promoted highly or are highly rated from the fan base and the players alike usually go on to be in the next mainline series game. And some of them don't, like character customization, for example, didn't show up from the Ninja World Tournament mode that was in Revolution to Storm 4, I'm sorry. So this is like exciting in the fact that like we have these characters and people are sourcing the data, and like we are getting a lot of this information out. And as long as other YouTubers and other presenters of this information like present it as such, because I know I'm going to see a bunch of YouTubers like these characters are 100% going to be in the game and splash their like pictures all over like thumbnails, and just get ready for that, and just remember to temper your expectations. That like just because they're in the code doesn't mean they're going to be there day one. It may possibly be DLC. If the game doesn't sell well enough, there won't be DLC. That's usually how that works. They usually base DLC off of separate budgets than the main game, so as long as there's interest showing in this game, all of this stuff can help lend towards a better Storm 5, and a better game right here too. I'm not just saying that this game should be a lead up directly to Storm 5, because I'm excited for Connections almost as much as I would be a Storm 5, just because the fact of that they're doing so much interesting new things. And I'm telling you before, Generations and Revolution were great games. Generations took me a little bit more to get used to at first because it was the first side game, and coming off of like all the Ultimate Ninja games up through like Ultimate Ninja 6, and then like the PSP versions of the games, and then like going into Storm, and Storm cutting back so much content, and then it's finally getting to a place in Storm 2 where we had like decent Shippuden stuff, and then Generations coming out and having like, it was like 14 new characters, but at least like we were able to see these animated cutscenes, and like it went into the history of like the Akatsuki and like the formation of the Akatsuki and all kinds of like fun, cool stuff like that like we didn't get to see even in the anime itself. That new kind of information, that was what made that game most exciting to me. Revolution had a lot of good functionality. It introduced Mecha Naruto. He had his own story. There was like an original story by CC2, similar to what we're getting here. Like at the end of Storm 4, how they completely rewrote the Ninja War because it wasn't finished in the anime yet. We had character customization, we had free roaming with like our character of our choice. Like I would go around with like Mu or like Obito a lot. There's just a lot to that game that actually lends towards more fun, which is what we should be all about, right? More fun in general. But that's going to be the video for today. I just want to share those leaks with you. Let me know in the comment section down below or on my Discord what you thought about them. I will be giving another poll. I always do a poll on video release days, so you can go over to the community tab and vote on that. And any and all thoughts, like I said, guys, are always welcome in the comment section down below. But now it's the end of the video, and I actually want to cover last week's poll from the last video. Alright, so the poll of last week's video actually read, a recent Event Hub article outlined a rumor talking about an Xbox Era podcast. The discussion was a potential leak for an upcoming Soul Calibur remake or Soul Calibur collection. Do you think this rumor is viable? My thoughts in my latest video. We have 35% said yes, it's possible, 30% said not very likely, 5% said why would this even happen, 3% said no one asked for this, and 27% said kind of cool if true. And then the top comment that we're going to read is from Isaiah Peters 9007, and it said, I feel like we're being teased. Why would Tekken 8, a new installment of the franchise, come out and then we only get a Soul Calibur collection, and then they were already excited for a truly new Soul Calibur game after the last one. I mean, Curtis being brought back by Undead from Ishka Ak, that'll be cool, and brings about possible scenarios for the main roster characters in the next game. The possible scenarios are endless at this point. And I tend to agree with that, though I still don't think that we're actually getting this remake. I think, if anything, we'll just get a new port of Soul Calibur 1, possibly this time available for first time on PSN. But that's about it. So remember to make sure to comment on those polls and vote on those polls, because I will read them now on at the end of every single next video. Like I always say, guys, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.